Now let's continue about how do we hear sound. So sound is being propagated, then how do we hear sound? We hear sound through our ears, isn't it? Now let us learn how through our ears, how do we hear sound? If you see that the shape of the outer part of the ear is like a funnel, and when the sound enters it through that outer ear, it travels down a canal. So a canal at the end of which you can see there is a thin stretched membrane, what is called as eardrum. So when the sound enters in the outer ear, then it travels through the canal, and at the end of the canal there is a stretched membrane called as eardrum. As we know that, and this eardrum, it performs an important function to hear the sound. So now we have to understand how this eardrum, what actually the eardrum does. Now to understand this, let's have one activity. See, you can take a plastic bottle or you can take a tin can, and you have to cut it ends. And so now, cut its ends, and one end you have to stretch a piece of rubber balloon across the end of the can or end of the plastic bottle and make it fixed with a rubber band. So you can see it in the figure, that yellow color one, it is a stretched rubber balloon, and on that stretched rubber balloon, which is being fixed at the end of the plastic by a rubber band, and at the top of the stretched balloon you keep 4-5 grains. See the top of the figure, the boy is holding the bottle with a stretched rubber balloon which is fixed at its ends and placed 4-5 grains on it. And then what you have to do is you have to produce sound below the other end of the bottle. And when you speak or when you make any noise, you can see that the grains jumping of the grains. This is because whenever sound is produced, what it does, it vibrates. It makes the stretched rubber to vibrate. Because of that, the grains jump. And the same way, here if you see, you can see here, this is the structure of our ear. See that left hand side, you can see that outer ear, it is a funnel-like structure which leads to a canal, what it is called as ear canal. And at the end of the ear canal, you can see that eardrum. This eardrum, actually what we have learned in that activity is similar to that of a stretched rubber balloon on the bottle. Got it? And then after that eardrum, you can see that middle ear. Actually, our ear is divided into 3 parts: outer ear, middle ear, and inner ear. So at the end of the outer ear, we have eardrum. Then middle ear, if you see, it has 3 bones which is attached to it. And then inner ear, at the inside the ear, what it is called as inner ear, then which is being attached with the nerves which carries which is being carried to the attached to the brain, etc. What is this about the structure of ear? You will be learning in detailed manner in your higher classes, that is in 9th standard. Now what you should know is, where is eardrum present? Eardrum is present at the end of the canal, ear canal. That is outer ear, which is leads to ear canal, which ends at eardrum. Got it? And this sound vibration, it makes whenever the sound enters through our outer ear, it passes through the ear canal and it makes the eardrum to vibrate. And this vibration of the eardrum, it travels to the inner ear, and then from there signal goes to the brain. So this way we hear sound. For children, and see here you can see clearly the eardrum and the inner ear. So from outer ear, the sound pass to the outer ear is like funnel shaped structure, and it that is pass through the ear canal, and then ends makes the eardrum to vibrate. Then from there it enters into the inner ear. Then from there it reaches our brain. That is what here we understood that we can understand that the eardrum, because of the vibration of the eardrum, we could hear sound, isn't it? So eardrum plays an important role in our hearing. That is why we must never put a sharp pointed or hard things into your ear. So sometimes if you want to clean it by this very sharp safety pin, or by this pencil and all, if you put it inside your ear, it can damage the eardrum. So once the eardrum get damaged, well, you just imagine the bottle which is fixed with a rubber balloon, when it is being tore off, then it cannot vibrate. So vibration, if it is not there, sound cannot be produced, isn't it? So it can damage the eardrum. So the damaged eardrum can leads to impaired hearing. Means we cannot, afterwards we cannot hear properly. We cannot hear one. So it is very important to note that never put sharp or pointed or hard thing into our ear. For children, now next pass to next our topic, that is amplitude, time period and frequency of a vibration. So now let us learn one by one all these three. Amplitude. See, what is amplitude? Amplitude is a maximum displacement of a particle from its mean position in either direction. Got it? That is up and down. Got it? Or in or right and left. This in either direction is called as amplitude. So amplitude, we know that sound is the form of waves, isn't it? The to and fro motion of a particle makes that vibrate. So amplitude is a displacement of a particle from its mean position. You can see it in the figure, from its rest position. Displacement of a particle from its mean position in either direction is called as amplitude, and it is denoted by the symbol centimeter, and it is measured in centimeter. Next, what is time period? Time period, the time taken to complete one oscillation. What is oscillation? Otherwise called as vibration, isn't it? Time taken to complete one oscillation is called as time period, and it is denoted by seconds. So what is amplitude? Is a maximum displacement of a particle from its mean position in either direction is called as amplitude. And what is time period? The time taken to complete one oscillation is called as time period. And now what is oscillation or what is vibration? We already know that the to and fro motion of an object is known as vibration, which is otherwise called as oscillatory motion. Isn't it? Now let us continue. What is frequency of oscillation? This is what we have already learned in 7th standard, isn't it? The number of oscillation per second is called as frequency of oscillation. In 1 second, how much oscillation takes place? That is called as frequency of oscillation. And frequency is expressed in hertz, and its symbol is Hz. So what is frequency? The number of oscillation per second is called as frequency of oscillation, and it is expressed in hertz, and its symbol is Hz. And so a frequency of 1 hertz, what do you mean by that? If any frequency of 1 hertz means in per second there is 1 oscillation. So 1 oscillation per second is denoted by frequency of 1 hertz. Got it? And now next question is, see, if an object oscillates 20 times in 1 second, what would be its frequency? So 1 second there is 20 oscillation. So what is frequency? Frequency is nothing but number of oscillation per second. Here per second means 1 second. In 1 second there is 20 oscillation. So what its frequency? It is nothing but 20 hertz. So frequency of an object is 20 hertz. And now you can recognize many familiar sounds without seeing the object producing them, isn't it? Sometimes when anybody calls you, whose voice is very familiar, you can recognize them without seeing them or without being introduced by themselves, isn't it? How is it possible? So this sound must be different so that we can recognize them. So what are the factors make them different? That is, what are the factors are there to make different sounds? That is nothing but amplitude and frequency. So amplitude and frequency are two important properties of any sound, and because of which we can differentiate sound. So how do we differentiate sound? We can differentiate sound on the basis of their amplitude and frequency. Yes, children, what is amplitude? Amplitude is a maximum displacement of a particle from its mean position in either direction. And what is frequency? Frequency is nothing but the number of oscillation per second is called as frequency of oscillation. So we can differentiate sound on the basis of amplitude and frequency. Okay, children. So till now we have learnt about sound is produced by vibrating objects. In human being, the vibration of the vocal cords produces sound, and sound propagate or travel through a medium like gas, liquid or solid, but it cannot travel in vacuum. So sound cannot travel in vacuum. And the eardrum senses the vibration of sound, and then it sends signals to the brain. This process is called as hearing. So eardrum plays an important role in the process of hearing. And then we have learned the number of oscillation or vibration per second is called as frequency of oscillation, and it is expressed in hertz. And amplitude, the maximum distance of a particle from its mean position in either direction is called as amplitude, and larger amplitude makes a louder sound. So about this louder and this shrill sound, we will be learning in our next session.